Okay, next project. I got back onto taking this little fuse block and wig-wag system out of the van. This is what they call a wig-wag, I guess. But that's what makes the lights flash in the back. So we had some amber lights in the very back of the van, which I replaced. I took the incandescent ones out and put some amber LEDs up here, which are gonna take a lot less power. And I'll still use it for like backing up or whatever. I'll be able to flip it on once I get my system in. But I'm going to still use the solenoid setup. I won't use that one. I'll buy a new one it's called a continuous solenoid. So when you turn the key on, it continuously stays on. They're built a little heavier duty so they can handle whatever the amperage or voltage that goes through it. And I will hook it instead of going from the alternator, I'm gonna go to the battery and then go back to the battery back in the back of the van. So it'll charge it as I'm driving, and then when I get to my location, I can use the solar, which will continuously to trickle charge. And if I get to a location that there's power, I can charge the batteries from there. I'm not gonna have that much. I probably don't need all this, but I'd rather have it than not have it. So I've been researching it and we'll see what happens. But that's part of my next project. My wife and I are up at the cabin this weekend, and I am getting some of these 10-foot pieces ripped down to 8 inches, 8 by 10, and that will work on the sides of the roof of the van where the walls meet up to the rooftop. And this one will be a 10-footer, so there's gonna be no seams. I'm gonna cut 3 pieces, and I'll have that for all the little doodads around the windows and what have you. Well, I finally got some sunshine. It's not foggy and soaking wet out, but I cut this strip that's gonna go underneath this and go up against this rubber piece here. I think that'll be it for this piece, and maybe one hole there for a power supply. All right, I'm happy with this. So I got the USB installed and the 12-volt power source cigarette lighter, and then the rip on the top on the window and kind of swoops out around the edge there. And it's all screwed in place. I'm going to have to take it all apart to paint it, but I'm gonna get everything built, installed how I like it, take it apart, paint it, reinstall it, and go from there. So slowly but surely. My next project is this. I mean, I've got a ton of wiring to do. Hopefully tomorrow's another nice day, because when it's foggy and cold out and wet, it's just not, I don't want to crawl underneath this thing and do all that crap. So anyways, we will see what happens tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I finally got back after the wiring. So everything is wired for the interior. I still need to run the wires for the lights outside, inside, and the wire coming down off the roof for that light and for the solar panel. But that's kind of it, except for I thought it was straight. It's a little bit crooked, so I'm gonna have to move it about 1/8 of an inch. But that's where it's gonna stay. Once I get it all labeled, I'll take all those pieces of tape off and clean it up a little bit, but all this plywood's gonna have to come off and get painted and everything. So I got a light wired and on just so I can have light. The fan's wired and on, and this USB is wired and on. That's gonna be another USB over there, another light right there, and what? Oh, and then a USB up here with like a cigarette lighter for a TV if I ever decide to mount a TV, or at least there'll be power. So I've taken a long break for the holidays. It's been crappy weather, foggy. It finally dried up a little bit, so I said, what the heck, let's get after it. So here's a quick little video.